my name is Ajoke Yusuf, your host. Thanks for the likes, shares, and comments, and also subscribing to the channel. If you're new here, Left On is where we dive into captivating stories of African trailblazers who have mastered life unexpected twists from childhood dreams to remarkable achievements. Today, I have with me a remarkable individual. He is my boss. He doesn't like me calling him that anyways, but it is what it is. He pays the bill. He is a serial entrepreneur who is passionate about Africa's prosperity and quality of life. He co-founded one of Africa's 6 unicorns, Andela, and at Andela, he built software engineering curriculum and training program that has trained over 1,000 African software engineers, many of whom now work at global tech companies. He has a computer science degree from the University of Waterloo, Canada's #1 engineering school, and he led software teams at various tech companies in Canada before he moved to Nigeria in 2014 and focused to developing Africa. Now he's currently the co-founder and CEO of an amazing startup, Edenlife. He has a dream of a world where Africa lives 10 times better than what they do today on one ultimate platform for essential services like food, self-care, home care, financial service, and entertainment. Join me to welcome my CEO. His name is Nadayar Enegesi. I was having a conversation with Nadayar and he wanted to be Michael Jackson. Who wants to be Michael Jackson? I'll give him the honors to introduce himself and tell us a bit about his life, his childhood. Interesting. I really want to know what actually brought him to think about being a Michael Jackson, really. So welcome on the show, Nadayar.
Thank you, Ajoke. Thanks for having me. You want me to talk about being Michael Jackson?
Yes.
Well, I mean, I'm a 90s kid.
Mm-hmm.
And Michael Jackson was the biggest star then. Everybody wanted to sing like Michael Jackson. Everybody wanted to dance like Michael Jackson. We watched a lot of Michael Jackson in my house too, and I used to be the last born.
Oh, okay.
And I always used to follow my older siblings to birthday parties. My favorite activity at birthday parties was dance competition. So I was like, people are dancing to win something. Everybody can dance, so I might as well join in. So that was how I got into it. And of course, like everybody wants to dance like Michael Jackson, so I picked up some moves. And then one day I went to class and we were doing like a talent show kind of thing. And I just did a little move. Everybody started calling me Michael Jackson. I'm like, wow, okay, I made it. yeah. So that's how we stuck.
Awesome. So how was growing up for you? How was growing up? What, we had this, when we're growing up, we wanted to be the 3 top, either a banker, a lawyer, a doctor. Like, were you at any point thinking about doing that, and what influenced that decision? Or aside the Michael Jackson thing, what other things you wanted to be while you were growing up, and did you eventually pursue it?
Honestly, I didn't have anything. Like, when kids would say, I want to be this, I want to be that. I was a very copycat kid.
Okay.
So, and that was because my parents never put any pressure on what I should do.
Okay.
They're just like, whenever you're ready to figure it out, you will figure it out. But I think they were also just tired of parenting, to be honest. Because my older siblings are lawyers. My older siblings are lawyers and doctors.
Yeah.
So when I was in primary school, people asked like, what do you want to be? I just used to say a lawyer because I was just saying what people wanted to hear. Or I'll change it to politician once in a while. I'll change to something else. And then when I got into secondary school, all the smart kids were trying to be in engineering. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to do this. But it was never really, there were never really things I wanted to do. Even eventually when I was about to go to uni, we had to write an exam and you chose courses based on the university program you wanted to do.
Okay.
And I was just, at that point, I was kind of done with school. I was like, I'm not trying to read anything. I'm not trying to write any essays. So I just picked all math courses. So I did it was 6 courses. I did 3 math, 1 physics. Right. You had to do English. And then 1 random one. And the random one, someone said the computer science teacher was laid back and he didn't care. He didn't care, or whatever he did, you pass. And I picked that. So
easy
those
life.
were those were the courses I needed to get into computer science at Waterloo. Actually, I chose the courses before I found the program.
I see.
Yeah, and then I just entered there. So I think my life has just been a Jesus take the wheel. I never really wanted to be anything.
Oh, nice. That's really great.
Yeah.
So I like the fact that there was no pressure for you. Well, even though you say your parents were tired of parenting, you're the last born anyways.
Yeah. It's just a joke.
Right.
I think by that time they had learned that there's no point forcing anything, and you just have to equip the kid to make the best decisions they can make. Yeah.
I think I'm the last child, so I can relate. So I guess that I was trained by my siblings, right? Yeah. My parents and my grandparents, right? I became like the grandkids to them because I had siblings that were actually putting me. So I can relate to that. All right. So would you say that coming from a humble background actually gave you an advantage of being a successful CEO? Like you had the opportunity to leave Nigeria to experience global opportunities at a very early stage. Would you say it gave you any advantage of being a successful CEO?
Definitely. Definitely, because firstly, I would never have started a company in the first place. I think it was just the people who I met, the friends that I made, the rooms I accidentally found myself in.
Right.
I think the passion to decide to want to do something significant at home, all of those things came from being away. So I'm definitely very fortunate for that.
All right. Do you think choosing a career path for you was pretty straightforward? Like, I mean, you studied computer science in University of Waterloo, and currently you're a founder and CEO of a successful tech startup. And would you say the educational background gave you an advantage in being a successful CEO in the tech ecosystem?
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. For career path, I don't know if it was straightforward per se, because I actually never was sure, to be honest. And I never was sure exactly what I wanted to do. I just always lived in the present. Whatever was present and available, that's what I was doing.
Get it done.
So when I was in school, I was working at the same time. So I would do a semester at school and then do a semester of work. So while I'm in school, I'm applying for jobs. And all the jobs I managed to do when I was in school were software engineering related jobs. So that gave me a lot of real world experience. And then after uni, my friend, he was like, "Hey, I'm doing this startup. Come and like build with us." I was like, I'm not sure, but I just kind of hung around them and it just helped out, and I just never left. And that led to us starting the first company. We started the second one. I moved to Lagos, and then started the next one. So just kind of going with the flow, you know.
Yeah, that's good. So basically, you didn't have to. Okay, you said you were working while you were schooling.
Yeah.
Right. You had opportunity. Like, how was that for you? Like,
it's fun. It was good.
So it was
really
more like
good.
applying what you're studying in school to, or was it something
to be honest,
different?
they were not really related, right? Because school is very school is theoretical. School is theoretical, and the real world is different. And those theoretical things are foundational. Like they help in the way we think. They help in the way we view problems and we solve problems. But there's nothing that actually prepares you for the real world than actually being inside. So I still had to learn a lot. I would even argue that, you know what, I would say it was both ways. The things I learned at school helped at work, and things I learned at work helped at school.
Okay. That's great. So that leads me to my next question, right? You made a decision to come back to Nigeria 7 years back, right? Rewind, right? And you would have as well just decided to stay back and give yourself a decent life, coming back to Nigeria. So you wrote on one of your Medium blog, and I quote, "With all the opportunities I had around me to build a software at the highest level, I had zero intentions of moving back to Nigeria. But here I am, casually walking into the terrain that I never experienced or intended to experience. I thought about what I was going to do when I got back to Nigeria, and it hits me. Up till now, I have had countless opportunities to build a solid life for myself through building technology. How did you navigate such a big decision? And most importantly, why did you do that? It is a big decision.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
It can't be Sakma, right?
No. It's actually the best decision I've ever made.
Really?
Yes, it is. And I feel alive here. I feel alive in a way that I don't feel alive anywhere else. How did I navigate the change when I initially moved? I embraced it fully. I was very excited. Till today, I'm very excited I'm excited about our culture. I'm excited about all the things that we have that are not discovered yet. There's so many things that we consider as ordinary.
Yeah.
That are really special things, Like you do not get to experience this range of cultures all in one place. You don't get to experience all of this food in one place. You also don't get to see all of these, like this massive cocktail of problems in one place, which always means that there's opportunity. So, when I first moved to Lagos, I fully embraced it. I was everywhere. I was eating everything I could eat. The names really threw me off. The Yoruba names threw me off because they're all like the same but different.
Yeah.
There's Deji, there's Jide, there's Oladeji,
right.
There's Bayo, there's Ayo, there's Dayo. I'm like, yo, like, why are all your names the same but different? That was awesome. I really had fun with that too. So I mean, it's been really good. It's been really good, and I really enjoy being here. I feel very alive here.
Have you ever regretted coming back?
Never.
Really?
Never. I've never regretted it. And it's like, it's one of those things where it almost looks like foolishness because for the most part, the rational decision to make is to live here. But for some reason, for me, it feels like I should be here. I don't know. I have conviction. I have conviction that Nigeria is going to be a superpower in the future. We just haven't cracked the code yet. I don't know how long it's going to take. But every country started somewhere. Every country fooled around for many decades. And if it's ever going to work, I want front row seats to see how it unfolds. So that's why.
Oh, that's so nice. That's really so nice. Team Jakpa, I can let me see it.
This is not advice.
Cocktail of problems to solve. Like there's opportunity we are missing out. Right, there are diversity. There are a lot of things that we have to benefit in our country, Nigeria. That's amazing. That's really a great point to look at it. And okay, so I'll ask my next question. Can you share a specific moment or decision in your career that you considered pivotal to shaping your career path and values? Like, is there a particular thing that actually you will say, I know you don't have so much in terms of work experience, maybe you started your thing, but is there anything that actually just changed that's...
100%.
Okay.
There was a particular place I worked that changed my attitude to work forever. So the name of that workplace is called Notions. It's a software agency in Toronto.
Right.
That was the last place I worked when I was in school. Let's say I worked at 5 different places. That was the last place I worked in my final year. And prior to that, I was a pretty lousy employee. Like I'll come in, I'll do the bare minimum work. Because I just was not interested. I wasn't engaged. And then I got this job and I went there. The very first day, there was some guy from a welcome committee. It's like, first of all, what is a welcome committee? This guy welcomes me. He has my MacBook in a box. He tells me about the company, introduces me to my teammates. They take me out for lunch. They bring me back. They assign me a mentor.
Wow.
Within the first 3 days, I was contributing to the code base. I was like, you know what? I'm going to work in this place. And I found myself like, I'll come to work at 7 and still to 10 p.m.
Wow.
Coding, and I'm working. So I discovered that actually I wasn't a lousy person. I was just
not interested.
I was just not engaged or not motivated. So that taught me a lot about how strong cultures drive productivity and drive engagement and also make the work meaningful for the people who are working there. I think that's when my attitude towards work really changed.
I can relate. 100%. Yeah. All right. Thanks for sharing. So we can call you a serial founder. I mean, you've co-founded 3 companies, and what was that about? And you've transitioned through these 3 diverse space. Mm-hmm. What was it about for you?
They were all different. They're all different. The very first 2, I was invited for the ride.
Okay.
And the third one, I was the one inviting people for the ride.
The ride driver.
And like that's different. It's different because in our first company, Fora, that was EdTech. My role was very clear. Yeah. It's like build the technology. Then we started Andela. My role was also very clear. It was find very brilliant people, convert them into world-class software engineers. It's very clear. Then I started Edenlife, and I was like, wow, I have to think about money. And that was
your role was clear as well.
Yeah, it was very clear. It was very clear. But this one I was like, yeah, it's different. But all of them also came with very specific lessons too. Like in the first one, I learned a lot about technology and like building something that worked for different kinds of people. In the second one, I learned about people because I spent a lot of time with people, and I learned to build human processes at scale. And then at Edenlife, I'm learning how to build a company that's going to last for hundreds of years even. And it's all fun. It's all a different kind of fun. They're all different.
Interesting.
It's like different flavors of a fruit. Yeah.
Very interesting. So what made you made that decision to leave Andela and started Edenlife? Because like I mentioned, it's 2 different spaces, right? Mm-hmm. What was that push? What was that thing? And what was it like for you? Because Andela is right, and you made that decision. What was it like for you?
Yeah, it was it was tough for me too, but it really started around sometime in 2018.
Yeah.
I would just go out in Lagos and I'd be like, wow, it's so tough here. And it was very, very personal. It was personal. And I just felt compelled to do something about quality of life. And I wasn't sure. Actually, the first thing I wanted to do was build cities. So I was talking to Siom and Prosper. And we were like, how are we going to do this thing? Our friends are leaving the country because like it sucks to live here. Yeah. It's hard to get stuff that we need here. How are we going to do it? And we were going to just go build a new city. But of course, that was going to be very, very difficult and also requires a lot of financial resources. I started looking for how to do it. And we said, well, we could just start with the way we live our lives and the services we need around our lifestyle. And that's how we started Edenlife. So it was a natural compulsion. And at the same time, at Andela, I had built the systems I had built were firing on their own. And I was like, I really don't want to leave this place because like this is my baby as well. But every day I woke up, I couldn't shake off that feeling of someone has to be doing something about this other problem. And so I spoke to my co-founders there, and they were very supportive. We're also a very passionate team, so they understand when someone is feeling something like that inside, and they all supported me. They were my first backers actually to fund Edenlife. So and that was how I started. All
right. So your dream is for Africans to live 10 times better. Let's dive a bit into Eden and what we do. All right. Your dream is to make Africa live 10 times better. On a personal level, what motivated that decision apart from the shege you saw when you first came back to Nigeria?
I don't know. I believe things should just work. They should just work, and it's not really rocket science. Things should work. You should be happy. We should do the things that we enjoy. We should explore the places we want to explore. We should spend time with the people we want to spend time with. Well, in our environment today, so many things just get in the way. And one of the big things that gets in the way of that is work. Because you have to make money, right? You have to make money to do these things. So everybody's spending their time working. But then you spend time, you work, you make money. but then you spend time to do more work outside of your work. So you work to take care of the home, you work to take care of the kids, you work to take care of your environment, you work to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
So the money that you're making,
you?
how are you really like getting value out of that, right? And some people have hacked it. Some people have figured out that, oh, actually, I can compartmentalize these things. I can delegate. Like when I delegate stuff, I get more time back. And when I get more time back, I can spend it on the things and experiences that I enjoy.
Right.
But it's not easy to access those experiences. So what Edenlife is doing is making it easy to just access those things. It's making them affordable. It's making them easily accessible. It's making them reliable. So you don't have to talk to 5 different people to get something. So anything from the way we eat, the way we live, the way we have fun, all of those experiences, we want to put them together in one place. That's why it's called Edenlife. It's like taking it back to the Garden of Eden.
Oh, nice. So, in Garden of Eden, what are the various packages or things that we can enjoy? And is it just for individual, or how do these people live better life? Can you just share a bit about?
Yeah.
Let's get to know Eden and probably how we can benefit of this good life.
Yeah. So on Eden today, you can buy, you can easily get quality food.
Okay.
You can get beauty products and cosmetics. You can get electronics and like stuff for your home. You can get groceries. You can buy medicine. You can also get your home cleaned. You can get a cleaning service. You can get your dry cleaning done. We'll pick it up. We'll drop it up for you. If you're a company, like one of the biggest and best benefits a company can provide their employees is food. Because like all the things like healthcare, all that stuff is like mainstream. You're not a special company if you're providing healthcare.
Yeah.
But like companies that provide food for their employees, they notice a surge in employee engagement and productivity. You can also do that through Eden, so it's not a hassle. You don't have to coordinate like multiple vendors. You don't have to like deal with figuring out where every piece of the puzzle is moving at any point in time. Once you put it on Eden, it's automatic, and you can provide all these benefits to your staff as well.
Okay, and this is available on the site.
Yeah, it's available. It's available on our website, our edenlife.com. It's available on the App Store and Play Store. Just Edenlife, EDEN Life.
Yeah, thank you. So
thanks for the promotion.
So I'd like to know, right? It's like Eden is known for quality. It's something that there's just that thing about Edenlife. At a point when I heard about Edenlife, he was like, this one a rich man product, right? So the wealthy and stuff. Like, how did you think about that quality and maintaining it so far? Because I understand this 10x quality of life, right? But it's been something that has been consistent over 4 years now. And how did you maintain that? How were you able to maintain that and have teams that actually believe in the vision? We do want to share to people, because you've worked in different organizations. It'd be great for us to share how you were able to maintain that quality, maintain the engagements, and get people to buy into the vision.
It's mostly the people, to be honest. Like we have people on our team who, like yourself, who understand and who are committed to making quality accessible every day to people. And when you really deep it, quality is not that deep. So at first people perceived Edenlife as an expensive product because it was quality, but because something is quality does not mean that
it's expensive.
It is luxury. Like those two things don't have to be the same every time. You should be able to get quality experience and quality products that are affordable as well. And sometimes quality is the simple things. It's things like being on time.
Yeah.
It's things like for food, using the right ingredients. Like we know the kind of ingredients we use in our homes to make food. Don't sell that to someone if you're not going to like it. You know? So it's also about values and commitment to doing the right thing. And our team is known for recognizing quality and having the culture and commitments to uphold it. And beyond that, we also engineer processes that ensure that when we figure out what quality is and how to deliver it, we can deliver it consistently.
Yeah. All right. So you've shared some wonderful stories. And like you said from the beginning, your life has been God take the wheel, right? So all you've shared with us feels like everything has been rosy, God take the wheel kind of thingy. But that's not the reality of life. Can you share about the shege you've seen, especially building a successful business in Nigeria and the economy? Would you like to share?
I wish I could complain, but I actually can't. I can't because I mean, yeah, like everything has ups and downs.
Yeah.
Everything has ups and downs. But my philosophy is rooted in stoicism. So I always maintain an even I try to maintain at least an even disposition. So even when like I run into challenges, they're mostly just challenges. I think everything that we choose to do is hard, but let me try really hard to find
a challenge, right?
A shege. I don't know, maybe loneliness, because like moving here, I didn't know anybody when I moved to Lagos. So I had to build a network of friends here. And then even after a lot of people started migrating, like most of the people that were my friends in the first 5 years when I was in Lagos are no longer here. So I have to do that. All over again. Sometimes that can be hard. The job also comes with that. Like someone said that as a CEO of a company, you get to work on the worst challenges, because like the worst challenges are usually the ones that no one else can take on.
Yeah.
So you have to work on them. But beyond that is in pretty good. I think one of the superpower that Nigerians have is our optimism.
Yeah.
And that's rooted in our faith, right? And sometimes we look down on it, but it can actually be a strength, because that it is only with that kind of attitude that you find opportunities amidst many obstacles. And I hope that's something that we never lose as a people. And I hope that that's something that we start to channel in the right directions, because yes, there's shege, yes, there are challenges, but I think everywhere you go and anything you do is going to have those things. So it's always about how do we respond in those challenges. Yeah. I know I've sent plenty aspire to us to perspire, but that's really what I believe.
I think I've had the opportunity to work closely with you, but it's just that disposition. Now I understand where you come from, like saying it's not like we're not seeing the shege, right? But how do you want to interpret the shege you're seeing?
Yes.
What would you do? Sometimes you can't even change the shege. It's either to face it and being resilient and facing it. I think that's really amazing.
And the way and also remember that it's going to end. Yeah, like even the great times is going to end. The bad times is going to end. I always whenever I'm trying to motivate any of my more junior team members, I always tell them, remember when WAEC was your problem? There's people who lost sleep over that. I'm like, where's that thing today?
Today, that's list of it.
Yeah.
There's always that new challenge you face. It's part of life. So reflecting on your few shages you've experienced, but I think the reason why you're not seeing some of the shages is because of the way you approach or solve that challenges. So reflecting back, right, is there a particular setback or obstacles that have taught you valuable lessons, and how that has also contributed to your growth? Is there any one you want to share with us?
There was one actually. This was while I was at Andela. There was a period where like 7 of my team members resigned in like 6 months.
Wow.
Yes. And it was insane. And this team was such a solid team. And it was a great team. We had great bonds and relationships, and they all bounced.
Right.
And it was very painful to me. I felt like I'd failed them as a leader, but I dug deep and realized that it was really just 2 things. One of them was the company was evolving.
Okay.
The company was evolving in a way that did not necessarily align with where they were going. And 2, I was not intentional enough about helping them to find that alignment or to find that common ground. And I would say even much later, I learned number 3, which is that actually that is natural and that happens in organizations. Like, people come and people go. So at first, the big lesson I took from there was you always have to make sure that your team understands the vision and understands where this thing is going and how it's evolving, so they kind of start to find themselves in that picture. That's one, which now helps me because I try to over index on alignment with the team where we're going. And then much later, I also realized that I can't be too hard on myself because people always leave organizations. It's like streams. And the best thing we can do sometimes as leaders when people exit our teams is to make sure they exit well in a way that the network becomes stronger. Because years down the line, it is those people that will mentor people who are working at the company. It's those people that would create more business opportunities for the company. The company is going to provide references, going to provide more opportunities for those people who left. And so those things have really helped me.
That's great. You should do a lot of motivational speaking, like. All right. So my next question is: were there specific individual experiences or mentors in your early life that have shaped your successful career? Sorry, I'll come back. Were there specific individual experiences or mentors in your early life that you can say shaped your career today?
Wow. That's a long list of people.
Wow.
It's a long long list of people because it's like, where do I even begin? I'll start with my friend E. If he never asked me to join him at the startup, I would never even have started companies. So that definitely changed my trajectory. Also, I'd say there were 2 people I worked with very closely at that company I mentioned earlier, B Notions. One is Alex, the other one is Dimitri. These guys were like, I'll put them in the top 1% of software engineers in Toronto. They were the leaders of the communities. They were the best at what they did. And these guys had enough time to spend at least in 1 week. They spent like 2-3 hours with me. I was working really closely with them. I got to learn a lot from them and their approach to work. So that definitely changed how I thought and how I built things. I'd say Jeremy, who's the CEO of Andela.
Yeah.
That is a very strong example of what a good CEO is. Yes. If you think I'm brave and courageous, you haven't met Jeremy. Yes. Who else? There's Obi. Obi was the CTO at Andela. I worked very, very closely with him. It's like my big brother. Obi is also a DJ. From him, I learned that like you can have a multi-dimensional life. Your life does not, you don't have to put yourself in a box. You can do different things and be good at them. I can keep going. If you're watching this and I didn't mention your name, I'm sorry. I also have a very good friend too. His name is Hope. I met Hope when I was in university, in like my second year or so. I met him on the football field. And wow, I learned so much about culture and about people, about kindness, about friendship from him. And I think a lot of the people that I just meet, even all my colleagues, I always learn 1 or 2 things from them. So, for example, like you,
learning machine.
Perhaps, yeah. I think I learned how to be more empathetic with people by working with you. Yeah, so I'm very fortunate, I guess.
That's so touching. That's so all right. So you just brought so many things. I was going to ask the last question, but I'm still going to ask this, right?
Okay.
So Nad has a very great way of balancing life, work, career. Like he plays football. He's a musician. I remember you mentioned somebody about plays instruments. I think he plays how many instruments again?
A few.
A few. All right. So how do you manage to, because I know you mentioned when you came to Nigeria, you were a bit lonely, right? How did you deal with that before you started picking up loneliness, of course? Was it that was how you went into music, or it was a thing you actually liked or something? Tell us a bit about the playing football. He plays football, then balancing work life, and you're still doing very good in your career as well. You do the exercise and stuff. Please just share with us, share tips on how to really balance work life.
Well, I'd say it's just compartmentalizing, right? I learned that from my secondary school. Actually, I went to boarding school.
Wow.
Yeah, I went to boarding school in Port Harcourt, and my school, Jefta Comprehensive Secondary School.
Okay.
That school is the school of routine. Yes, you wake up at 5:30, you do devotion till 6. At 6, you're outside running. You do morning jogging for like 45 minutes. You come back, you get ready, you go, you have tea. Then after tea, you go to class. And after class, you go to assembly. After assembly, you come back for lunch. Then you eat. Then you go to class. And then it was a very Christian school too. So anytime there was a gathering, there was music, and like it was students who were playing that music. So before I had joined the school, I was already playing some music. So that was the perfect environment for me to just like build that hobby. Then I would see people playing football, but I couldn't really play. So much later in life, when I had more time, I said I was going to learn it, and I realized it's also a very good way of making friends. There's no way you run around with 10 other people for 2 hours and you not make at least 1 or 2 friends. Yeah, and I just realized that whenever I do those things, I'm a happier person. And whenever I'm doing those things, I'm not thinking about anything else. And so as I started working, I maintained those hobbies. I made sure to create time and space for those things. So that's how I do it. Just use calendar and block it out and be like, this time in the morning, I'm going to use it for exercise. This time I'm going to use it to hang out with friends. This time I'm going to use it to, yeah.
All right. I was saying that I have a last question, but there's one that popped up again. From what you said about your secondary school, like I've had a few people feel school is overrated. But from what you just mentioned, it seems that there was things that probably shaped you, because if you have a routine, you're doing this and that and stuff, right? It has a way of shaping you. Or would you say that actually shaped you? Because I didn't hear you talk about the school, what you studied in that school, right? But I had a pattern or so. What would you say? Because we've heard the whole school is overrated. I just want to leave. I just want to do that. What would you advise people? And what do you think?
I think it is impossible for you to do something for 6 years and it won't change you and it won't shape how you do. It's not possible. Yeah, so school definitely has an influence, whether it's in the way the school is structured, whether it's in the things that you learn in class, whether it's the people and the kinds of people that you meet, whether it's what the culture at that school is like. All of those things affect you as an individual. The school I went to, there was actually a focus on being a well-rounded individual. Yes, the school focused on that. We're very big on academics, but the school was also very big on sports.
I see.
The school was also very big on arts and the creative endeavors. The school was also big on spirituality and religion as well. So that definitely has an effect.
That's amazing, really, because I think some of our schools are losing that effect, having a school that is balanced, where you have the school curriculum, you're doing other extracurriculum activities. For you to hear this, it seems like it's something that we should embrace, especially in this part of Africa. Because it's not school, read your book. There are times that you intentionally go and watch TV and build routine. But yes, this is now, for some of us that probably didn't do that when we were growing up, it's now difficult to, just do this and do that. But I see where it's coming from. So I'm not too hard on myself. I'm just going to take it easy. It's never too late to learn. And now that brings me to my final question. For young African and aspiring, for young Africans aspiring to venture into entrepreneurship, What is the advice you want to give to them based on your experience? You have founded 3 companies in 3 different spaces. So what is that advice you want to give to aspiring Africa entrepreneurs?
Whenever I get this question, I laugh because I'm always just like, who am I to give anybody advice?
Of course.
Like I make tons of mistakes every day, and you will definitely make mistakes too if you're that person who is building something. So I'd say, like, don't take it too seriously. Don't take it too seriously. The most important thing is to keep learning and never give up. That's it. Anybody, like, if you had an infinite timeline of learning and compounding learning, eventually you would win. Right? And that is actually the secret to most successful startups that no one talks about. We always want to talk about the brilliance. We always want to talk about, like, the innovations. We always want to talk about, like, how smart the people are. But if you look inside most of those stories, you find that they were just constantly learning and they never gave up. That's it.
Thank you so much. This has been an interesting conversation. Yes, Nad is a learning machine. He has like a lot of tons of, he knows everything right now. So I'm not surprised when he says, keep learning. I think this is very common. You have to, like, we've heard it a lot on the show, keep learning, just keep building, make mistake, learn from your mistake. It's been an interesting conversation with my Oga. Sorry. Thanks so much for being on the show. Thank you guys, everyone, for staying on the show. It's been an interesting conversation. Please feel free to drop your comments. If you want to ask him questions, sure, send a message. I'm going to, aside the right, please send me your questions, your comments. Click on the like button, the share buttons, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for being on the show. See you out there.